a patient is getting euthanized. I don't know if I say it the right way, but if it's done on the practice where she works, then she can take a few minutes before she calls the patient in the room and just visualize that everything that is not hers and is not serving the next patient will move out of the room, and she can call upon whatever she works with, like the angels. I always do a few things myself, like before I go to work in my practice. I do what I just said, and I call upon like a guardian of my field, and I call in the highest frequency of love, and I fill the field with frequency of love, and I see like I imagine it's also getting filled with trust, patience, honesty, connection, yeah, things like that. And I call upon my spirit guides to guide me in the treatment. So, but sometimes when a patient is getting euthanized, then I ask my own animals who are deceased, or when I know another animal, like today I did a reading for a cat who is on the end of his life, and I asked the other cat who I helped pass over if she can wait for him. He wanted that. But if I don't know anyone, I ask. I have a lot of animals on the other side, so I ask the ones that come up in my head to guide them, or to help them, or let's see. So the energy field is something, and then if she has a few minutes, and when you do it regularly, it takes only a few minutes. It goes very, really quick. When the patient is outside, I would connect with the patient and just send them what is going to happen. When I treat a patient on location, when I drive towards them, I connect with them and I tell them that I'm coming and why I'm coming, what the question of the owner was. The problem is that you are not euthanized. Being euthanized is not so simple to explain to the patient, of course, in that only the few minutes. So she needs to see what is helpful to say to prepare the patient. But I would recommend a field of love and safety, that they are safe, and it's okay, that their owner will manage themselves, and maybe she can focus on advice like relax, and I don't know the word for it for now, but don't fight, only the positive word, what you can do. If she is on location, I would recommend to put an energy field from the heart, like a white bubble of energy where the patient can feel safe and loved. Like it's okay and there are others waiting on the other side. But one thing is important to understand is that it also depends on the owners how an animal responds on this end of his life. Like the cat of this morning, I did the communication yesterday, but then there was a lot of noise. I could not have a pure reading. So I just said to the owner, there's a lot of noise surrounding it, and can you just tell me, can you just respond to what I'm telling, what I did get from the cat? And then she told me that she was thinking about ending her own life when she would lose the cat. So as a vet, you don't know this information, but it's good to know that there's a lot going on with the owners. Like soul agreements, of course, and other stuff. And if one owner is not totally ready to let go or is doubting the decision, the animal will more hesitate. So maybe if there's time and there's a lot of stress and the animal is also stressed, maybe she can just take the time to talk to the owners and support them in their decision, because a lot of owners, they doubt their decision. Are we doing the right thing? So on forehand, so that everything can settle. And the one things she cannot control is how owners think about death. If they think there's nothing after death, then it's harder for them to let go. But if they see that as a transformation process, it gets easier. But I think it's really helpful if she already just is aware of all those things, sets the energy field. And what is really helpful is just take the steps telepathically tell the steps telepathically to the animal. So I will give you an injection, and the first one is, in my opinion or experience, painful. So I always say that when I'm with my animals, at the vet, I always tell them if the vet's doing something, they will do this, they will do that. And that is really nice for them to know, so they are not like, it's not coming out of nowhere. So if she can tell them, I will give you an injection, this will hurt a little bit, but just breathe through it, or something like that, or just relax. It's just for a moment. And that next part, when the body is falling asleep, I always tell them to give in, give over. I don't know the English word again, but surrender. I think surrender is the English word. So because sometimes animals feel a little bit scared because the body is shutting down. Then there's always a moment they are a bit scared. I would recommend as a vet to the owner, just keep stroking them around the head, because then the head chakra gets activated and the soul just easier moves on. And keep talking to your pet, because most vets, they say, oh no, the animal doesn't hear you. When I had a near-death experience in my ayahuasca, and is one of the steps I learned in the shamanic death, if in the death in a shamanic way. And one of those steps is that you still can hear everything, but you cannot do anything. And I saw it with a horse of my friend who was totally paralyzed, laying on the ground, turning with her eyes. So with a horse, I always recommend to put your hand over the eye so it's dark. Yeah, she could hear me. So I would talk to her to get her settled down. Yeah. She can tell the owners that the soul can be like around 16 days still in the being felt in the room and in the house and stables. It's like 2 weeks, and then it passes, it moves on. We have a vet in the village, and that's not about communication, but it's a nice thing that she does. She makes like little bottles for people that they can fill up with the hair of the animal. So that's really nice. But I had her one time when she euthanized my rabbit, and then she was, the whole time she was talking to me, and I just wanted to connect to my animal, to connect to my rabbit and be there in silence. And she was like, yeah, it's an old rabbit, and he had a good life, and you're so lucky. And yeah, but to me it was really important to just be with her and be in silence on that moment. So reading the room is for animal and owner really, really nice if she can really read the room, because some vets just cannot read the room. And also asking if there are things they would like or don't like. Like I once said with another rabbit, I don't want you to carry him because he was really, he didn't have any air left, so he had really short of breath, and he started on the ground, but then all of a sudden in 2 seconds he got him up from the ground, put a needle in him and put him down again, and the rabbit was totally overwhelmed and laying on its back, and it was really, really awful to see because he didn't have any air. So that was, and then this rabbit did not pass over good in the realms that are in the highest realms, like the layers I told you about. He did not pass over well because of this really nasty ending. And this vet was a vet for cows, so he was used to put down animals who were young and not ill. So yeah, he was really like, it's a rabbit. But to me, they were my babies. So yeah, but that's all not about animal communication, and yet it is, because yeah, yeah. No, I think you understand. I will think if something pops up. I also shared with you the message what owners can do, and I think that is very helpful. Oh yeah, I thought about if she has a practice, she can put down some stones to help them pass over. If she has flowers nearby, she can get some flowers and then put on a body. Maybe it's too much for a vet. Maybe she can recommend it to people, but yeah, I had some dissections, like that they put horse on the table and they just dissect the whole body. And they always put down flowers on the body, on forehand, just to thank the body for everything it was. So that's really, really nice. The animals also like to know what happens with them after they die. So if the vet knows or an animal get left behind, then she can tell the soul what's happening with the body. And when the animal gets left behind, she can feel onto what she can do, like the stones she can put with it, or lay the flower, or maybe she has other things she can do, because the soul and the body need to reconnect, of disconnect, and need to say goodbye. So the soul always likes. She can also recommend it to clients that the body can lay there for around 2 hours, but she can feel into that, what does the animal need, 1 hour, 2 hour, to say goodbye to the body. It's also important for other animals to say goodbye. So if it comes from a vet, people take it seriously, because when my horse died this year, I said to the rest of the stable, just come with your horse and say goodbye. And they didn't until the vet said to me, are the other horses saying goodbye? I said, yeah, I asked them, but I don't know if they're coming. So when I said to the people when they came, the vet also said, please say goodbye with your horse to my horse. It's important for them. Then they did come. So when a vet says something, people take it seriously. So that's maybe it's good to know that her opinion really matters to people. I think I said the most. When something's come up, I will share it. So I really, really love this question, and I hope there are more vets like her who understand this part of dying. And there are so many people, also colleagues, who say dying is not a problem for animals, and most of the time it isn't, but the problem is that it comes often out of nowhere, like they get euthanized, and they don't know, they feel like there's something is up, but nobody's telling them what is up to them. So that is, I think, the problem, and the people who are pulling back. So I once wrote a message about dying is hard because everyone is pulling you back. So understanding that is really, really so nice for the animals she will get in contact with. Yeah. I probably will forget more things to say, but I hope she has something to go on with the message.